Hey guys, WhatAboutAmeobi here. We're going to play Victoria Pines by ChrizZcE, his entry into the 2023 TGC Tours World Cup of Design. I must give a, what is it, the word I want? Before we start, I have sort of played this course already. I normally don't. Normally the courses you see me play on this channel, it's my first look at it. I've never seen it before. I'm going in with really not much in the way of kind of expectation of thoughts of what to expect. Sometimes because of the designer, I'll have expectations that I expect it to be really good, or I expect the environment to be really good, or stuff like that. But I've usually never seen the course. But I have seen this one because Leech Foxen, who's in chat right now, had his 40th birthday stream the other day, and we played this course in Is It Though format. If you haven't seen Is It Though, twitch.tv/Victory Lane Sports or Victory Lane Sports on YouTube. No vowels. Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Leech Foxen, and Victory Lane Sports play basically match play against each other. Well, not a match play. It's a 36-hole stroke play, a regulation course and a par 3. But they play with these weird formats like club draft, where they only get to have like half of the clubs in their bag, and they alternate between which one, like they alternate choosing which one they get. Like battle golf, where if you win the hole you get to take a club out of the other guy's bag. And then another one the one we did Saturday was drive for show, putt for dough, so you have to hit driver everywhere until you get to the green, and then once you're on the green you can putt. So we played that, and so I've played the course but not really, because I don't think I'll be hitting driver from 100 yards today. So let's see what we got out here. It is... That slow felt super slow. Yeah, I know, Foxen. Hang on. No, that all looks right. Okay. So ChrizZcE is definitely known for having fantastic environments. I think if there's been a criticism level towards him, it's been that the golf doesn't always reach the level of the environments. But I also am led to believe that he's been working on that and trying to get to have the golf match the environment. So I'm looking forward to. I always look forward to his courses because I just want to see what he's done with them. That's gonna miss left. At the last minute, I saw that at the ball there was one going left. So that was kind of weird. That bead, yeah, okay. It is kind of struggling a bit here. It is. We are asking a lot. With like, there's a lot. It looks. I'm guessing the meter's pretty darn full. Because there's just some serious detail going on here, right? And so I wouldn't be shocked if it crashed. This hole was a little different with driver. Oh, that's fast. It's funny though, I don't remember it lagging like this when we played it on Saturday. Getting to hit a wedge out of here is helpful. I know this is a 2K23 thing that you have to have, you know, Jurassic grass for it to sit or for it to look the way you want it to. It does look really silly though, and I think that's probably more criticism of. Yeah, it was. It's probably more of a criticism of 2K of 2K or HB than it is of ChrizZcE. But yeah, this grass is so high, but I think it has to be to get it to sit how he wants it to. That's gonna miss low. Well, we're off. We're kind of par for the course when it comes to putting. And then, all right. So drivable 4 here. All right, I see what we're doing with the green. It's a little bit kind of, it's a little kind of goofy, but I get the idea. Yeah. Layup is over here, obviously. And you can kind of choose what, I mean, you can even choose to lay it up here if you want a straight shot like that, I guess. Into the wind, this doesn't have a chance, but we'll see how close it can get. And then I don't mind how a shot left gets catapulted into the bunker like that. It's a drivable 4. And then this bunker shot's not easy. It was a beautiful layup, wasn't it? For those watching on YouTube, if you want to see some great content, go to twitch.tv/leechboxing. You'll see it on the chat there. He is a very consistent streamer. He will stream sometimes once a year, so make sure to follow him. Drop a like and all that jazz, so that one time a year he streams, he'll be there. You could hit. I'm not hitting 3-wood though. Okay, now we got slow. It's stuttery, man. I already looked beforehand, but I'm gonna just look again. Is there anything running that I don't need to have running? Ameobi was playing The Sims before. No. No. No, there's nothing on that isn't normally. CPU temp at 68. Running at 4450 megahertz. Only getting 42% usage overall. Highest score is what, 75-ish? 76? So, I don't know. That didn't get there. Well, that was a kind bounce. Yeah. I don't think it is anything. I think it's just... So PGA Tour's taking up the most memory and the most processor. So it's just, there's just too much. The game is asking a lot right now. That's what it is. What Foxen said. I wouldn't mind a bit more. I mean, so I know it's a Pine Valley, or like a Pinehurst, Pine Valley, whatever kind of idea. So we're in the pines. Wouldn't mind a little more room. Part of that is just I'm not very straight with the driver. You don't need to hit driver here, but we're gonna. Actually. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it would be worse than secure boot. Yeah, I mean, and some of this is personal preference, right? Like I don't like slashing it out of the rough all the time. I like width and angles and stuff. Like I just like that strategy. I do feel like some 2K23 courses are a little too narrow because the it's harder to hit a driver straight like it was in 22 or 21. I mean, so you try Coke. I haven't had Coke or Coca-Cola before anybody has fun with it. I haven't had that in 30 years probably. I don't drink caffeine now. So centerline hazard, but in a really, I mean, I guess that's where if we weren't in the wind, that's where driver would end up. So then you just take 3-wood, don't you? No, never. There was a time where both Coke and Pepsi had a caffeine-free but not sugar-free version. So it had the sugar but not the caffeine, and I didn't mind that. But there's not many people like me that don't drink caffeine, so it died. And most people that don't want caffeine, they don't want sugar either. Yeah, there's a bit of a filler hole there. Again, tough to make a 400-yard par 4 interesting with how far we can hit the ball in this game. All right, this par 5 is going to be short as hell with this wind. Again, the environment's great. Like, ChrizZcE knows how to paint a picture. There's no question about that. Oh, that's crushed. I don't know if we need the tee shot to be downhill like this. Because it makes... Yeah, I think I will, Foxton. It makes what's already kind of a shortish par 5 really short. Now, I know that not all of you guys have the power and the length to hit the ball 401 yards like I just did. And, you know, my goal with these playthroughs isn't to shame people. You know, it's not to make people feel like, oh, wow, Ameobi can do that. I can't. But it ran 80 yards. So we're going to hit, what was that, wedge? Into a par 5? Yeah. I think if you lose that, like, you can't just take a hill out of there, obviously, but yeah, no, I had wind for sure, but even without wind, it's gonna get on that hill and it's gonna go pretty good. Like, it's not a very long par 5. I just, if that tee shot's not downhill, then I think the second shot, like, it plays a kind of a more par 5 type length. And even this massive false front, it's not really gonna protect it that much. It's a big target too, right? So it's a really easy par 5. Into the wind, it'll be a bit different. Without wind, it's still gonna be short. I think. I mean, maybe the tee shot's uphill until it gets to that downhill. The other thing it does, that hill, is let's say it is a situation where, carrying as far as I did, you get it to the downslope and then it's gone. You really are giving a huge advantage to people who can hit the ball a long way. Like, 20 yards farther might end up being 70 yards farther when all's said and done, because you catch the hill. So I'd be careful with that too. And then we're gonna back it up with a long par 4 with a fairway that cambers like mad. Oh, the fairway runs out. Okay. How far out? Where does it run out at? 350. All right, well, let's see if we can hit it through the fairway. I think we can. So it's either a partial driver or it's a 3-wood with my club set. I'm curious what kind of club set ChrizZcE has. I wonder if I'm finding areas that he doesn't, or if this is meant to be a 3-wood. Thing is, at 486, 3-wood is a bit of a tough club to pull. But if you can get it to go 300, which maybe with this fairway you can, then yeah, okay. And yeah, I don't know that it matters if you cut the fairway off or not, because you're going to just end up in a miserable lie anyways. So I'm not sure I'm not worried about it being cut off, because it's, yeah, you're going to have a miserable lie anyways if you go over that hill. The other thing is, so I don't know. I'm not sure what I feel about this. sculpting looks great, by the way. The green might be just a bit much. If you're gonna take away driver for me, you're gonna make me hit 3-wood, probably leave me with 2 bills in. I just feel like a false back is harsh when you're hitting a long iron in. But you do have a backstop there, so you have to really get it going to get over that and then be down here. The chip back is in be really, really tough. But it looks like the shot you have to hit to pull that off is bad enough that maybe you do deserve to have that kind of a shot. Maybe you do, maybe that's a reasonable penalty for hitting, you know, that bad of a shot. Just what I said, and I'm not sure. It's yeah. There is a bit of randomness to the greens that I don't know how intentional that is. Like if that's meant to be part of. Like I've played links courses before where they're really humpy bumpy greens and they're just like, well, that's how the land is, and that's so. And yeah, fair. Yeah, to hit it over there, it's a bad shot. So it's probably, yeah, I think it's okay. It does kind of, but have it like that kind of that hump back there. It just looks a bit weird. And then if you get the right wind, this is drivable. Your layup's over here. I didn't get all of that. I was just curious, if I hit driver, where does it end up? Yeah, if you got wind and you can get it far, if you can get it flying down the left, you might have a chance of carrying it on. Or carrying it close enough at least. Yeah, and that, I mean, Viking makes a good point there too. If you're gonna force me to run it on, I don't need it to be a pool table, but I would hate to have the thing kick straight right and then just be screwed because I got a bad bounce trying to hit the shot I'm supposed to. But then that's links golf, right? So I don't know. If it was on a links course, you say, well, it's links golf. So ultimately it comes down to what is the goal here? This is kind of cool. I feel like there might have been some back and forth on Saturday night on this hole. Was it this hole? Yeah, I had it over here and I had to try to hit driver onto the green. I tried to run it through in the rough and it didn't quite make it. That's what happened. But yeah, I don't mind this at all as a par 5, like a reachable par 5 green. This stuff is no good. Green's running left to right towards water, which makes total sense. Big false edge there. But if you bail over here, have fun. So you basically want to either be getting it on this green or laying it up to hit a full wedge in. Because I don't think you definitely don't want to be playing out of this. So your layup, you lay it up back here somewhere. And it's short enough that you're probably never laying up. So you better, if you're going at this, you better hit a good shot. Uh-oh. This is gonna need a bounce. And the problem is, it's gonna run right off the other side. I'm never a massive fan of I miss a green left and it runs off the green right, or vice versa. It looks like there's a way to keep it on there. You have to hit the green. It's just and it's fine. It's not on the green, and I'm actually better off being over here than I would have been if it hung up in that rough. This is something a bit odd about, it just rolls all the way off like that. Oh, that didn't come out at all. So it's a tricky little par 5 that, I mean, it works. It works. You have to hit a really accurate second shot to hold that green, otherwise you're gonna have a hard time getting them down. Yeah, cool. And then this little guy. Is this hole a hair too long for the shot that's being asked to be played to this hole? Maybe. This might work better with like a 9-iron rather than a 6 or 5-iron or whatever I'm going to hit into this wind. That's not that bad a shot. And then look at what I've got left. It's gonna stay? Barely. So yeah, when I was mentioning on Saturday on Voxen's stream that I don't think this is a CC course, it's stuff like this is why I say that. There's a lot of this, it really, you know, big drop-offs, and you don't have to miss by much to get it. So I could see some CC players racking up some scores out here. I'm gonna hit 3-wood downwind here. I mean, I like that it's not just hit driver and have at it. Like, I like that you got to think a bit off the tee. That, I don't understand why that's gone right. Unless the ball is slightly below my feet. I don't know. It does feel like we're on a knife edge at times. Now, greens are 141. I don't think I'd want them any quicker than that. This pin over here could be fun. But then this part here kind of hurts it, right? Because you're going to try to feed it in, but it might get booted over here, and then you got this awful putt down here. Yeah, we're going to play Tanner's course, and we're going to play Q's course. That's what I'm looking at. Hey, Bob. Thanks for the sub, buddy. Appreciate it. Wow, that emote explosion took its time. Yeah, that's not the shot. That was don't fast it. I didn't. It's hard to say much about this. Whoops. It's hard to say much about this hole because I don't think it's reasonable to expect the designer to think about what happens if you shank it that far right of the bunker. Just give me a minute, guys. We'll get there. Quick double. Love to see it. That's not the kind of blow up I was expecting on this course. Okay. This is the 3-wood all day long. If it's even a 3-wood. It shouldn't make it to the bottom. Or it shouldn't go through the fairway, at least. Oh, geez, it does. Hey, Troy. Well, that's not quite what I was hoping for. With this green. I think this green's a little much. I think you could kind of have half the depth around this green and accomplish more or less the same thing. It does make it really important to be in the fairway. So that part is good. Yeah, coming from the rough is tough. Now, there is a backstop back there, which is going to help out. Yeah, it's very much a left-right sloping green, isn't it? It's just that, you know, you're going to end up way down here or something if you miss. It just feels like it's going to go... It doesn't need to be that severe. Oh, it didn't break like I thought it would. Okay. Long 4. All the way down the start. Yeah, it's tough to say. Unfortunately, there's not really a middle ground. This here looks a bit awkward. And again, we've got this kind of a mound. It just feels kind of artificial in places. I didn't hit that as much as I wanted to, but it might be okay. Get up there. Okay. It's a course you definitely, if this was being played in competition, you'd want to play it a couple, like at least once before going out there and playing competitively, because there's there's a couple holes there where I thought I was okay hitting one club and I wasn't, so I'd wanna know that. Really long par 5 here. Not sure if it's ever reachable, which is totally fine. Downwind it might be. But we still have well, maybe not. We still have 330, and there's no way you're threading that gap either. I know, practice. So I had a little think there. Can I get 3-wood up here? I could. So then, other than that, guess your layup is here. Which leaves you like 180. So it looks like hitting the fairway is going to be super important, because otherwise you're probably not getting over this bunker and you're going to have 180 yards in. Unless you want to thread it down this, which I'm not sure I do. What's that look like? Yeah, with those trees like that, I don't think I want to be over here. Only concern I have is if you're into the wind and you have a bit of a shorter driver, you might not be able to hit that shot. So then you might be left with 180 yards into this, which I definitely don't want. This hole had some serious back and forth action on Saturday. Ah. Okay. Yeah, definitely better. Yeah, we learned that. I don't. To be honest, Aussie, I never really noticed the routing very often. So I'm not the best person to ask that. Like I only really notice routing if there's a very obvious problem with it. Wow, that went farther than I thought it would. We got 240. Not sure about this. Here's the thing. It's not that difficult to stick it up here. That's a good point, Scoo. Yeah, we haven't really ever gone uphill, have we? There's been a lot of downhill. Especially if there's a left pin, it wouldn't be hard to stick it up here and you're completely dead. No, I think a 240-yard par 3 probably doesn't need a green quite as interesting as this. A shorter par 3 for sure, but I don't know if you need it on this length. I don't dislike the green, I just don't like it for the length of the hole. And then here we can blast it over the corner. Oh, we're gonna get snookered here. Thing I've seen so far though, Saucy, is the feeder slopes haven't the ball tends to roll more than you want it to. So it doesn't really feed as much as you would hope. That didn't start right at all. All right. And then it's a short par 5. Again, the green makes it, I think overall that these fall offs are just a little bit too big. You end up like farther below the green than you need to. And it just makes it look a little bit much, a little arcadey maybe. I would love to see that softened a little bit. I think you'd still get a lot of the same kind of shot value and penalty. You would get the penalty you're looking for. I think it might be a bit much. I get it's a short par 5, and I you know, you need to have some kind of penalty for going for it and screwing it up. It's another short hole though that it's got a really severe penalty for missing it. So there's a bit of all or nothing to it. There we go. So, outside of that double. Usually is. All right. Again, visually, great. Good point the boys have made in chat that did feel like there was a lot of downhill holes. Now that you mention it, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I think it's one of ChrizZcE's better courses from a playability point of view. I just think at times it gets a little extreme. I think it's just, and I think that's something he's going to consistently work on, because I think it's difficult to have an amazing looking course without having kind of edges like that. I think that's part of what makes them look so good. And so, yeah, I think that's a little tricky. And then I think at times it's just maybe, you know, ChrizZcE's great at painting a picture. I'm not sure what his golf knowledge is. And this is not a criticism at all. I just don't know how much he's played golf for, you know, and so I don't know. To me, it just feels like some of the shots are a little bit arcadey. But I'm like about as pure a golf purist as you can find, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely see his growth. You can see how every course gets better. You can see where there's thought being put into it. So I keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. We need the guy that has amazing environments, and then, you know, his golf keeps getting better. That's even better. So for those watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, let me know you're enjoying the content. Hit subscribe to let me know you want to see more. Leave a comment. Fox did a great job on my racing channel. He just put a comment. That was perfect. Any algorithm, or sorry, any engagement the algorithm loves. We'll be back in another course soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.